Today's Thursday and I'm doing the final prep on my Audi Quattro because tomorrow I'm getting up early and I'm taking it all the way up to Seattle for the 5th round of Formula Drift. If you follow my Instagram, you've probably seen my 83 Quattro. I've kind of restored it quite a bit from the state it was in a year ago when I bought it. It's just about got brand new everything at this point except for the motor. Right now I've got the headliner out because I'm dyeing it black. I'm also going to be recovering the parcel tray in the back with some fresh carpet and the B and C pillars. It's a pretty straightforward thing. The B and C pillars aren't like most cars that have like a plastic cover. These ones, the fabric literally just glues to the inside of the car, which makes it a little bit of a pain in the butt to work on. I'm gonna put it in the driveway so there's lots of light and I can see in there, get those finished up, and then finish up that parcel tray, pop the headliner back in, and hopefully it'll be all ready to go for tomorrow. So on Monday, somebody actually came and installed a new window for me. It was incredibly expensive. These windows are impossible to find. I had to fly this one in from England. There was a giant crack going right down the middle, like right in your driving line, like where you're looking constantly, and it looked terrible. It made the car look crummy. So it was definitely worth replacing that finally. It looks really nice. I'm really excited about it. You can see in here where the B and C pillars are. There's literally just this foam that's glued to the pillars. So that's what I'm gonna fix right now. I already did. The other side here looks really nice on the driver's side. It's a nice black vinyl that actually matches the door panels perfectly. I just figured I'd replace it all. The B and C pillars were nasty. They were just like this really old moldy fabric that had all these tears in it. So that was kind of the first thing that jump-started this headliner project. Of course, I get the headliner out, got to pull the C and B pillars out, got to pull the parcel tray out, and because of that, I had to pull the back seats. But I'm gonna get it all back together and hopefully it'll look really good. Oh yeah, first try. That's always a plus. This parcel tray is actually in pretty horrible condition, but good considering what it is. I mean, Audi really did not think very clearly when they made this. It's really thin wood compressed foam board or something. And after 40 years, the things just start to fall apart. I'm gonna take the speakers out, get rid of those because this car doesn't have a stereo. I don't really care to keep those. You know, you can always add them back one day. And kind of tape it up with some aluminum tape somebody suggested doing who's done this before. They said that works pretty good. And then I'm gonna tear off this old carpet, put on the new carpet. Hopefully it turns out looking pretty nice. Once it's back in the car, shouldn't really have to, you know, touch it much. It's kind of just way in the back, so it'll just be chilling. So the last 2 years I've been driving my 240SX up to the Formula Drift event, and people really love that car. It's kind of like a dream build for a lot of people. S14 240 with all the cool body kit stuff and 3-piece wheels. It's got the SR swap. So people really seem to love seeing that car in the Royal Purple booth, but I've been wanting to mix it up, and the original plan was to drive my E30 for a while, but after I got the Quattro, there was a lot of people asking me to drive that up there, so I thought that'd be a pretty good idea. The E30 I just had dynoed with the new ITBs on it. It's a pretty cool car. Unfortunately, on the way back from the dyno, I actually blew out the clutch slave cylinder, so I ended up having to get it towed. Luckily, my dad has a car trailer, and he helped me out with that, but totally had to rescue me the other day when I broke that thing. So that car's definitely not going anymore. So we're going for the Quattro now. I think a lot of people will like it. I got all the nasty old foam off pretty easily, and the carpet came off really easily. Even with this aluminum tape, this thing is still pretty delicate, so I gotta be really careful. I'm just gonna use the entire roll on it. I'll go to the broken parts first, and then whatever else I have left over in the roll, I'm just gonna keep on going and going until it's all gone. So I actually ended up taking the rear windows out of the Quattro to do the fabric back here on the B and C pillars because it wraps around into the window seal. And I didn't actually know how easily they come out. Really, you just kind of bend the seal back and push the window out at the same time. Just gotta be super careful not to drop it. So I already did the driver's side. I'm onto the passenger side now. I'm gonna whip that out really quick and then we can put the headliner back in. This whole headliner interior pillar thing has really been such a pain in the butt. I don't regret doing it, but I'm gonna be really happy when it's over. I got the headliner back in the car and it's looking really good. The B and C pillars came out pretty good too, but my favorite of all actually is the parcel tray, which I wasn't really planning on doing in the first place, and it looks so good now. When you look through the window, you can see it's nice and clean and black. It was so moldy and nasty before, so I'm really glad I ended up doing that, and the black with everything else is so great. So the car probably needs a quick wash. I'm gonna wait for the sun to go down to do that, but other than that, I'm pretty much done with it. I'm gonna bring it over to my dad's house tomorrow at 4 in the morning so that we can load it up on the trailer, take it up to FD Monroe, and I need to start packing up my camera gear and my clothes for tomorrow. The only thing I need to do before that is I wanna get the E30 on the lift, but I can't really get that car in gear because the clutch slave is blown out. All right, here's the plan. Just gonna coast it down the hill. When the car gets going fast enough, I'm gonna pop it in gear. Oh, there we go. Gonna drive it around the block all the way until I get to my house, and then drive it up the driveway, and if things get sketchy, I'll just try to pop it out of gear before I get to the lift. But this thing's geared pretty low, so I might be able to just slowly just get it up on the lift and left foot brake it. We'll see. All right, braking. All right, guess I don't have to use the winch. Look at that, absolute precision. I'm pretty impressed that actually worked. I thought this might end up being like an hour-long ordeal with the winch, having to pull this thing up there, but that worked pretty good. The only way it could have been any better is if I had backed it in, but that sounded pretty hard, so. I'm assuming it's a clutch slave because I could kind of feel it getting like pretty mushy before it happened, like weeks and weeks before it happened, which was dumb that I didn't replace it. I don't think it was like the clutch line bursting or anything, unfortunately, because that'd be really easy to fix. I'm just really hoping that it's not the Master, because the Master is like $300, so. Once you get the car up in the air, it's actually pretty easy to find the clutch slave. It's usually just attached to the side of the bell housing. A lot of cars are external like this one, so it'll be easy to replace. What's scary is I don't really see an area where all the fluid leaked out of. There was like brake fluid everywhere when I pulled over, and I'm not really sure where it came from. I might have to get a flashlight here. I'm gonna replace this either way, but I was kind of expecting to see it like covered in fluid, and it's not. So I'm gonna move on and come back to this at another time. All right, it's 3:30 in the morning. Got my coffee, got my stuff packed up in the Quattro. Gonna drive over to my dad's house, put the car on the trailer, and then we're gonna drive the 4 hours up to Monroe, hopefully make it in time for the media meeting, and also put my car in the booth for Royal Purple. The reason we're trailering the car is really just a simple matter of logistics. The car can easily make it up to Seattle. I actually drove up there twice last week for all the gear that we have, and also just coming and going from the show. It's gonna be actually in one of the booths, so having to undo it all just to drive the car, you know, to get lunch or go to the hotel, and then having to bring it back into the booth the next morning is not impossible, but it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. All right, I think we're making good time. The GPS said like 7:30, so that should be plenty early. I'm pretty sure the media meeting's not till 9, so hopefully we'll have like an hour to get this car parked and get our stuff together. All right, we made it. Pretty easy drive when I just sit on my ass and play with the laptop. But we're gonna drop the car, drive it into the booth here. Practice starts in about an hour, so I'll get out on track with the camera stuff, and hopefully some people come by and check out the Quattro. It's pretty cool. If it doesn't start, when you key off, you wanna wait like 2 seconds because the fuel distributor needs to turn off before it'll turn back on again. Better let Dad drive the Quattro. He's the professional. Oh man, the front bumper was so close to touching and gave me a little pucker. I got everything all squared away with the Quattro. It's in the Royal Purple booth looking nice and pretty, where it will reside for the next 2 days. We made it with plenty of time to make the media meeting. I'm walking over there now, so that'll be good. Grab my vest. Practice starts at 9, and then I'm gonna go find the best place on track. Hopefully shoot some tandems. Friday practice has gone by pretty quick already. I was out here at 9 a.m. out on grid shooting all the GoPro stuff. It's usually my typical plan of attack is get all that out of the way in the morning, stick some GoPros on the cars, and then for second practice I came down here and I'm on the long lens on the red, get some cool slow-mo shots, just gather a few things up to make some reels for the drivers that I work for. It's a pretty short day. There's going to be tandem qualifying, but none of the drivers I work for are part of that. They're already seated, so it'll be time to drink some beers here pretty soon and relax a little bit, get ready for tomorrow for the big day. So we actually had a third practice day that I didn't even know about. I'm glad that that happened though, because I definitely needed some more shots of all my drivers. Practice isn't really about the drivers practicing, it's more about getting the cars set up. There's a lot of different variables in drifting. You know, the speed of the cars are always getting faster, the tires are changing, the temperatures, all of that stuff. So they need to get the car, try a bunch of different setups, get the thing dialed so that it's as fast as possible. And also a really big thing is getting the tires to last 2 laps. You want the car as gripped up as you can so they can go fast, but if those tires are wearing out by the end of your second lap, when you're either leading or chasing, you're gonna be stuck out there with no grip and you're probably gonna lose the battle. But it went really good today for all my drivers, so we're gonna go grab some dinner, grab some drinks, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9. So it's Saturday morning. This is always my favorite part of the event. Something about how quiet it is. All the drivers are always super focused in the morning. They've got a night to sleep and process all the information from the day before. So the driving is always really good. The light is always really nice, kind of with the sunrise coming up. And one cool thing is you get to see the judges down here painting the lines for the track. Oh, you know what? It's not the judges today. It's Kevin Miles. I thought the judges did this.
Oh my gosh. I guess that means I get to vote now. Sick. God.
I'm always a little bit nervous when I start the day off on Saturdays, wondering if I got enough footage of the drivers, wondering if we got enough dialogue. But I always have to remember that my first ever Formula Drift event, I made a video from only shooting on Saturday, so I always know there's plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to get tons of shots. Of course, today is when all the cool stuff happens, so luckily I work for drivers that usually make it to the top 8, so plenty of battles, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully somebody wins. So the driving started now, and it's really windy. The wind's blowing right towards us, so as soon as the cars come by, we just get this incredible wall of smoke coming right at us. This one's not even that bad. Oh, jeez. I didn't even have to hold my breath that time. I just blew right past.
Dude, I've become a lot more keen on holding my breath for every run.
Yeah, well, everyone told me that the smoke would make you sterile, but apparently not, because I got 2 kids.
God damn it, Mike! Narrowly escaping him squeaking by, and then the front bounced off the wall and hit my back. And I literally was just like this close for the front going in, just like muscled it off the wall, just barely.
Are you good? Sorry about that. Just fucking, it was going in, I kept it fucking pinned, and then they grabbed the tire and then just pulled it right in.
Unfortunately, 3 of my drivers that I work for have already been knocked out in top 32. Simon Olsen, Dylan Hughes, and Chris Forsberg. So that's kind of a bummer. It was a real surprise. It was definitely an upset because they're really good drivers. I've still got Matt Field, Ryan Turk, and Audi Quattro left. Right now, Ryan Turk and Field are going against each other, so it's going to be one or the other. One of these guys has to get knocked out, so we'll see what happens. I think Matt Field, you know, he's pretty good. Turk's had some flubs this year, so I'm not sure what's going to happen, but stay around and find out. We'll see. My buddy Turk just pulls one off, goes 2 one more times the Audi Bocce's, which was pretty exciting to watch. Ryan has not won an event in 2 years or so, 2.5 years, so it was really nice to see him finally pulling one off. He definitely earned it. He's been pushing super hard, you know, and they just needed some luck with the car, holding the car together, things to stop breaking. He usually does really well here. It wasn't a huge surprise to see, I don't think we were expecting it. We're gonna pack up the Quattro, put it on the trailer, and drive it back to my house about 3.5 hours away, and then I gotta go to the airport at 7 a.m., so we'll be on the next shoot here in about 12 hours. I got the Quattro back to my house safe and sound after a long drive back through Seattle Saturday night traffic. I basically just went inside and repacked my bags. I grabbed my second red with the gimbal, took a quick shower and a nap for about 30 minutes. I'm heading straight to Virginia. We're doing a shoot on Monday with Nitto Tire, so I'll be sleeping on the airplane today. So many hours later, finally made it to Summit Point. It's absolutely beautiful out here. I was an hour late to work because my alarm never went off. I hate making excuses, but woke up luckily just to my phone like barely vibrating somehow. It was kind of frozen, so I can't even access anything besides the text messages on it right now. It's just like really weird, but anyways, finally here.
Walk away from us on the street. Like 1 or 2 miles. It's not the competition car, by the way. I don't know.
I have no idea what's going on, so thanks.
All right. You brought an RX-8. 180 horsepower RX-8.
So our open track session just started. What we're doing is putting a bunch of cars on track one at a time. Some of them are gonna have GoPros running. Some of them will be for beauty shots. This whole video series is called Driver Battles for Nitto Tire. And what we do is we take Nitto drivers who are amateurs and also semi-professional race car drivers. We give them free tires, let them do some laps on track, see who can go the fastest. And at the end of the day, we kind of let them talk crap, see who can back it up, and then we reveal who the winner is. So if you've ever seen a Driver Battles video, definitely enjoy the behind the scenes process. If not, you should go watch it on the Driving Line channel and see what the finished videos look like. It's a pretty good time. I've been doing it with a bunch of my friends now for probably about 5 years, and we've really gotten it kind of figured out down to a science now. So this is actually one of my favorite racetracks to do that out here at Summit Point in Virginia. It's just beautiful. The landscape is really nice. The track is really cool and interesting. There's lots of different like elevations and things like that, and it's a perfect day today. The sun is out, the temperature is not too hot, it's nice and dry, not too much humidity. So we'll see. There's an F with no GoPros. Oh, that's my cue. So we all just finished lunch and I switched over to my Komodo on the Movi Pro gimbal, and we're shooting a bunch of beauty shots of the cars now. What we use that for is the segments where the drivers are talking about the mods they've done and some of their driver experiences. We pepper that in the B-roll so that you can kind of see like some of the cool parts they're talking about. After that, we're gonna let them drive on track for a little bit longer, and then we're gonna go to the final interview session where we kind of discuss how the day went, and then we reveal who the big winner is.
Oh wow, we're rolling, guys. Yeah?
Yep.
We had such a good time last year, you guys. We decided to run it back one more time. Have you both out?
Usually we do car to car, just sitting in the back of the minivan with the photographer, and it goes pretty well, but I wanted to do some high speed stuff today. So I took our MovMax Blade Arm and stuck it on the back of one of the instructor's Porsches and put this little DJI Pocket 3 on it. I would just do a pace that you're pretty comfortable with. We're just looking for something faster than what we could achieve in the minivan, because not that the minivan is obviously slow, but we also...
Don't diss on the minivan.
The big thing is we just had the photographer in the back.
Right, it's a minivan with like guys in it.
Yeah, so we can't go fast at all. Turned out pretty good. The footage was great. It was a little buffeted a little bit from the wind still, but I think it's definitely usable, and we'll definitely use it in the episode. So next up, I'm gonna fly home, do some edits, and then heading out to Bonneville in the Quattro. So that'll be a good time. Can't wait for that.